Cannot believe what I'm hearing about this grown man, Kanye West. They are saying that he feels some type of way about Beyonce kids. Like he is going on a rant, like trying to diss him and dog him out because he's jealous because Blue Ivy and Beyonce kids, they're doing more successful, they're better. And they don't get talked about as bad as his daughter with all the blue wigs and all that stuff going on. So I came across this video. I want you guys to watch it. I want to know your thoughts about this. I know you guys love to watch reaction videos with me. So I want you guys to like, share, and subscribe. And I want you guys to comment. I want to know your thoughts about all of this. Can you believe a grown man? I would think that he has so much better stuff to do than focus on these kids. Let the kids be the kids. They're not trying to beef with each other. It's all of you guys. It's adults. Grown-ups are so weird. Before these girls even began to blossom, it was grown people that was putting these kids up against each other. It wasn't the kids, it's always the grown adults. They're the destructive ones.
She was ready. She was ready. She is ready. Absolutely.
So it looks like Kanye dragging Beyonce and Jay-Z wasn't enough for him. Now he's going after their kids, and he seems to have a lot to say about Blue Ivy. Word on the street is Beyonce and Jay-Z have been silently beefing with Kanye and Kim to see who can produce the most successful daughter. It doesn't take much to take one good look at Blue Ivy and clock that there is an agenda being intentionally prepared for her before she is old enough to do so. No wonder she's already following the same path as her mother. Okay, so this mess between North and Blue has been cooking up behind the scenes because of the beef between their parents, especially Kanye. You see, Kanye has actually been talking down on Blue Ivy for a long time, going all the way back to 2016, while he was at the peak of his beef with Jay-Z and Beyonce. During his St. Pablo tour stop in Seattle, Kanye went on a rant about his business issues with Jay-Z and decided to drag Blue and Beyonce into it. Jay-Z was not here for this at all, and he called Kanye out for involving his family in their beef. He said he was down to talk things out with Kanye, but after he brought Blue and Beyonce into it, any chances that existed of them resolving their beef were flushed down the toilet.
It's my wife's big too. Kanye's my little brother. He's talked about me 100 times. He made a song called Big Brother. Right. And we've gotten past bigger issues, but brought my family into it. Now it's a problem with me. That's a real problem. Now and it's a problem because me and him would have been talked about. We'd have been resolved our issue. But that he crossed the line. I know him. He knows. He knows.
Now, you'd think that this would make Kanye pipe down on speaking on Jay-Z's kids, but it only got worse. He didn't just speak about Blue Ivy. He actually attacked Jay and Bey's twins by calling them the R word. Kanye tweeted, "Wait, has anyone ever seen Jay-Z and Beyonce's younger kids? They're R-worded. No, like literally. And this is why artificial insemination is such a blessing. Having R-worded children is a choice." Kanye ended up deleting the tweet minutes later, but he was right back at it again with another tweet, telling people that he only took his initial post down because some higher-ups were threatening to delete his account. Basically, he was saying he said what he said. "I need everyone to know that I took the post about Jay-Z and Beyonce's family down and Jerry Lorenzo's family down because there was a possibility of my Twitter being canceled. Not because I'm a good person. I took it down like Down syndrome. Get it? Am I right? Am I right? F the world. Real talk. F everybody." He added, "There will never be an apology to the Carter family until they help me with my children. Y'all be getting one guy out of jail at a time to look prestigious. The Carters and the Kardashians are basically the same, except the Kardashians are trafficking." But here's where things get crazy. Their beef suddenly went from Kanye just talking down on Blue to now comparing her to North. Now, if you're on social media for a while now, then you know people have been comparing North and Blue for a very long time now. People would bring up how well-behaved Blue was as compared to North, who was literally cussing out the paparazzi even before she turned 10.
So,
Anyway, these comparisons didn't just stay there. It's actually only getting worse, they're growing, with people saying Blue Ivy works hard for the things she has, like her Grammy, while North just plays around on TikTok the whole world, because she knows Kim will pull strings to get her everything she wants. These allegations started when Kim was exposed for secretly paying off a bunch of casting directors so that North could get the role of young Simba in the live concert for The Lion King. And if you saw North's performance in that play, you'll know that it was nothing short of a hot mess. A lot of people were not okay with this at all, because they felt like North had no business being handed that role, and that the only reason she got it was because of Kim. And honestly, her vocals on that stage did not do her any favors. It was pretty clear to most people watching that she wasn't ready for that kind of platform. At first, it just seemed like people were being harsh, but then the mother of one of the kids who had actually auditioned for that same role came forward and made a whole TikTok calling Kim out. According to her, Kim essentially paid the casting directors to overlook all the other children who had spent weeks auditioning and going through multiple screen tests, just so North, who didn't even bother to audition, could walk in and get the part. She described the moment Kim and North showed up to the audition room, where all the other kids were sitting and waiting. Apparently, after just a few minutes of Kim having a private conversation with the casting directors, the decision was made on the spot. North got the role, and all the other kids were sent home empty-handed.
My extremely talented and gorgeous daughter auditioned for the role of Simba in this production of The Lion King at the Hollywood Bowl. We were so excited for her to get this audition. She's been on Broadway 4 times already and has had parts in TV film, so we felt she had the perfect experience for this role. Her agent sent her up the audition, and she made it through 4 rounds of callbacks, and the final round was with 3 girls, and my daughter was one of them. But while we were waiting in the audition room with one other girl and her mother, someone walked in. It was Kim Kardashian with Northwest. We had heard that there was someone that was in the industry that was pulling strings to get their daughter in front of the casting director. We found out it was Northwest on that final audition, and we were so disappointed. We had heard that they wanted to cast a talented kid with some good experience, but one that doesn't have a name, because they wanted to uplift a smaller voice in the community. And we thought my daughter was that person. But Kim Kardashian allegedly paid her daughter to be in this production, and her daughter does not have the experience for this role, as you could see. It is extremely disappointed, and Mr. Hollywood, I hope you learned your lesson to not cast a Nepo baby over talent ever again.
Once this came out, it was reported that Kim was low-key trying to use North to go toe-to-toe with Blue Ivy, and the timing made it impossible to ignore. Just 1 week before the announcement that North had landed this role, it had already been announced that Blue was set to voice a character in the Lion King prequel. And doesn't that feel just a little too convenient? Kim randomly decides to buy North a spot in a Lion King concert film just days after Blue's Lion King project gets announced. It's giving very much Keeping Up with the Carters. The problem is she's out here pushing North into spaces North doesn't even seem to want to be in, all just to match what Blue is doing naturally. A blind item who works behind the scenes recently spilled the tea about this when they said, "This illiterate reality star has taken digs at the offspring of 2 permanent A-listers and thinks her own child has more talent and will be more successful." It all feels very petty, but what does one expect from the reality family? Kim Kardashian / Blue Ivy / Beyonce and Jay-Z / Northwest. Now, circling back to North and Blue, most people didn't even realize Kim was deliberately using North to take shots at Beyonce until Beyonce brought Blue out to perform with her during the Renaissance World Tour. Blue was getting praised everywhere you looked, and almost immediately after, Kim started popping up with these little TikTok vlogs featuring North, just to make sure they stayed relevant in the conversation too. It was so transparent that people weren't even entertained by it. Kim already tried and failed to crack Beyoncé's inner circle. She tried and failed to match Beyoncé's level. So now the new strategy is apparently prepping North to go up against Blue Ivy. Meanwhile, Blue is being raised to stay focused, block out distractions, and position herself to completely take over when the time comes. But in true Kardashian fashion, Kim has been quietly putting pieces in place to give North every possible advantage. She's already filed trademarks for North to launch her own skincare line. And given the Kardashian track record with business, it would be foolish to count North out. This family has turned branding into an art form over the last decade, with both Kylie and Kim crossing into billionaire territory. Once those brands launch, North is likely going to be sitting on some very serious money very quickly. And just when we thought things couldn't get any messier, the comparisons reached an all-time high after the just-ended Met Gala, where Blue Ivy was invited over North, despite the Met Gala having a strict rule about no minors being allowed to attend. So apparently Kim and Kanye tried to pull strings to get North to also attend, but Anna Wintour flat out said no. But here's the thing though, according to some conspiracy theorists, the reason Blue was allowed to break the no child rumor at the Met is that she was specifically brought to be initiated into the industry. People noticed that Beyoncé was making the entire night about Blue in all her interviews, and she also kept saying that Blue is ready. She never specified what Blue was ready for, but she also made some creepy comments about how she was now going to be looking at the world through Blue's eyes, basically implying that she was destiny swapping with Blue.
Beyonce's dress symbolized death of some sort. Like it's the end of her, but the beginning of Blue's notoriety and career and like face.
Also, it is being reported that Beyoncé is going to retire after Act 3. And the tour, and then Blue would be launching her singing career. North West has already launched her singing career, though. She has collaborated with several artists and even dropped an entire EP. But if you ask Kim and Kanye, sources say they believe their daughter is the more talented, and they won't stop until it has been proven. As usual, people had their thoughts like this person who said, "Did we forget that North is not just Kim's daughter, but also Kanye's daughter? That attitude you see on North, that's Kanye." Another person said, "She did say, Blue ready, and Beyoncé had the skeleton and blue wedding gown. Out with old, in with the new. Blue." But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Kanye shaming Blue Ivy for overthrowing North? And do you really believe that the Met was an initiation to make Blue the next big star in Hollywood? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.